Welcome to the Story Behind the Hymn with Faye Wheeler. This is Season 1, Episode 10.
Do you think miracles still happen today? I do. I've had so many miracles happen in my life. The first I remember was at age 5. I fell out of a car going 70 miles per hour down a highway. The car following us was traveling the same speed and not able to respond quick enough, running over me. Once arriving at a hospital, the physicians informed my young parents my body was too broken for them to do anything, but many miracles through prayers took place. There is another miracle, a bigger miracle, that still happens daily around the world. This is the miracle of a transformed life when a person comes and accepts the free gift of salvation. Old things are passed away, and all things become new. John W. Peterson was born in Kansas, where he lived with his brothers, Bill and Bob. They lived a wild and dangerous life, boozing, gambling, and fast driving. Then, one night, John came home, took his mother in his arms, kissed her, and said, "Mother, I have found Christ as my Savior." The change in him was immediate and dramatic. When World War II began, John joined the Air Force and became a pilot, a flight and instrument instructor. In his spare time, John studied the Bible and wrote gospel songs. He was sent to Burma, serving with the 11th and 12th Combat Cargo Squadrons, repeatedly risking his life while transporting men and materials over the fabled China Hump. The China Hump was the name given by Allied pilots in the Second World War to the eastern end of the Himalayan mountains. Few people appreciate it today, but for a period of more than 3 years during World War II, a force of mostly American airmen undertook one of history's most complex and deadliest logistical operations, flying thousands of tons of supplies from India over the Himalayas into China in rickety, underpowered cargo planes. A third of Allied air crews died hauling supplies to China. No fewer than 700 Allied planes crashed or got shot down, and 1,200 airmen died. Every 340 tons delivered cost the life of one pilot. This is documented in historian Francis Pike's exhaustive new history, The Pacific War, 1941 to 1945. Following discharge from the Air Force, Peterson attended Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. In a missions class, his thoughts carried him back to his days of flying China's Hump. John writes, "I sat in a classroom at Moody one day when the lecturer said something that started me thinking in a concentrated way about the grace and love of God. Soon I lost contact with the lecture, and my mind turned back to my childhood when I had seen the radical change in the lives of my brothers through the power of the gospel. I relived my own conversion. To me, such a miraculous thing. My thoughts raced on to the flights over the Himalayas. The spectacular power of God revealed in those electrical storms, the majesty of the mountains themselves, the incredible variety of the jungle, and the star-filled nights of dazzling beauty high in the air. As these scenes flashed through my memory, I began to focus on the element of the miraculous in all of God's work, creation and redemption. This Creator was the very same one who had sent his Son, Jesus Christ, as his Savior. I was overwhelmed by God's power and love. The words of a song were forming in my mind, and before the class period was over, the chorus was all thought out. I hurried over to the music building, found a vacant studio, and started to write. It took a miracle to put the stars in place. So today, I would like you to meditate and sing on the message of this week's hymn, It Took a Miracle, sung by Jamie Wheeler.
My Father is omnipotent, and that you can't deny. A God of might and miracles, it's written in the sky. It took a miracle to place the stars in space. It took a miracle to hang the world in space. But when he saved my soul, cleansed and made me whole, it took a miracle of love and grace. The Bible tells us of his power and wisdom all way through, and every little bird and flower are testimonies too. It took a miracle to put the stars in place. It took a miracle to hang the world in space. But when he saved my soul, cleansed and made me whole, it took a miracle of love and grace.
You are listening to the story behind the hymn with Faye Wheeler. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Hi, I'm Tracy with Advocates to End Domestic Violence. We're here in Carson City, and thank you for letting me come and talk with you guys about the Taste of Downtown. So we hold the Taste of Downtown once a year, and this year, because of COVID, we're a little bit different, so our event will be held in September, on September 11th, from 4:30 to 7:30 here in downtown. So when I say downtown Carson City, I mean on Carson Street. We will be from 5th Street to Robinson, and along Carson Street are restaurants and bands and live entertainment. From dancers to performers, we will have a vast variety of fun things to do that night. When somebody is buying a taste ticket, it's a wristband to taste at all of the locations that have joined us. This year, with COVID, it might be a little bit smaller than in years past, but we're just excited that we're able to hold our event. With the money that's raised from this event, it goes to Advocates to End Domestic Violence. We have the largest shelter here in Carson City and in northern Nevada. We have 51 beds for families who are victims of domestic violence and can come to us 24/7 every day of the year. So the funds that are raised from our event keep us going every day. With the event, you get to taste at all of the spots that are placed. So we have from the Fox to Capital Sushi to Carson Nugget joining us this year, and we have some live bands that are going to be playing from 4:30 to 7:30 this year. Because it is September, our hours have also changed. Again, it's 4:30 to 7:30 for the tasting. You can purchase tickets online now, or in the coming weeks, they will be available for purchase at Classy Seconds thrift store, which is owned and operated by Advocates to End Domestic Violence. We hope that you come and join us for the taste and enjoy our beautiful downtown, where you guys have a beautiful church just a couple blocks away from where we're kicking off this party. Normally it's a fun summer party, but we're saying it's a great fall party this year. So come on and join us.
Saturday. Mark your calendars for Saturday, August 21st. Join us at Ross Gold Park on Snyder Avenue from 11:30 to 1:30 for an end-of-summer picnic in the park. You'll enjoy hamburgers and hot dogs, as well as sodas and water, which we will provide. And when you're not eating or visiting, you can play horseshoes, cornhole, and ladder golf. Sign up to bring a side dish. You'll find the sign-up sheet on the volunteer table in the Family Life Center. If you'd like, bring lounge chairs, picnic blankets, shade umbrellas, a favorite outdoor game, or, even better, a friend. Remember, that's Saturday, August 21st. See you there!
Welcome back to The Story Behind the Hymn with Faye Wheeler.
Only one missionary is honored with a global holiday, and only one is known by his own distinct color of green. St. Patrick, of course, missionary to Ireland. Patrick was born in AD 373 along the banks of the River Clyde in what is now called Scotland. His father was a deacon and his grandfather a priest. When Patrick was about 16, raiders descended on his little town and torched his home. When one of the pirates spotted him in the bushes, he was seized, hauled aboard a ship, and taken to Ireland as a slave. There he gave his life to the Lord. He later wrote, "The Lord opened my mind to an awareness of my unbelief, in order that I might remember my transgressions and turn with all my heart to the Lord my God." Patrick eventually escaped. He returned home. His overjoyed family begged him to never leave again. But one night, in a dream reminiscent of Paul's vision of the Macedonian man in Acts 16, Patrick saw an Irishman pleading with him to come evangelize Ireland. It wasn't an easy decision, but Patrick, about 30 years old then, returned to his former captors with only one book, the Latin Bible, in his hand. As he evangelized the countryside, multitudes came to listen. The superstitious Druids opposed him and sought his death. But his preaching was powerful, and Patrick became one of the most fruitful evangelists of all time, planting about 200 churches and baptizing 100,000 converts. His work endured, and several centuries later, the Irish Church was still producing hymns, prayers, and songs of worship. In the 8th century, an unknown poet wrote a prayer asking God to be his vision, his wisdom, and his best thought by day or night. In 1905, Mary Byrne, a scholar in Dublin, Ireland, translated this ancient Irish poem into English. Another scholar, Eleanor Hall of Manchester, England, took Byrne's translation and crafted it into verses with rhyme and meter. Shortly thereafter, it was set to a traditional Irish folk song, Slane, named for an area in Ireland where Patrick reportedly challenged local druids with the gospel. It is one of our oldest and most moving hymns. Enjoy Be Thou My Vision is sung by Jamie Wheeler.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart, not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best thought, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, my presence, my light. Be thou my wisdom, and thou my true word. I ever with thee, and thou with me, Lord. Thou my great Father, I thy true Son, thou in me dwelling, and I with thee one.
Thank you for listening to the story behind the hymn with Faye Wheeler. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button. Subscribe and ring the bell if you would like notification when this channel has new content. This program is a production of Aunt Betty's Studio, a ministry of First Presbyterian Church, Carson City.